Lisa Broom with the Tuesday, August 5th edition of the CBC Evening News. Government is creating an initiative focused on getting Barbadians in the diaspora investing in Barbados economic development, and they're guaranteeing good returns through a new financial instrument, even though the final details are still being worked on. The news came during the third Diaspora Conference, the Barbados Network Consultation 2014, hosted at the Lloyd Erskine Sandiford Center. Shane Seeley has more.
Government is turning to the diaspora, appealing to citizens abroad to help restore economic growth and boost the island's foreign exchange reserves. To this end, Prime Minister Frondell Stuart has unveiled a number of financial initiatives and instruments, including what he calls the Barbados National Development Networker Bond, to encourage Barbadians living abroad to invest in Barbados. He says the issue will be up for discussion at the Barbados Network Consultation, now on at the Lloyd Erskine Sandiford Center.
The goal is to raise foreign exchange capital from Barbadians resident abroad and from external holdings of residents of Barbados, and to leverage these resources to support local economic development initiatives. This will be done through a series of initiatives that include more effective marketing and the provision of government guarantees of safe, reliable, and attractive rates of return.
The Prime Minister also reported on efforts to boost tourism here in Barbados through the diaspora under an initiative created by the Barbados Tourism Authority.
The Barbadian Family and Friends Club, which was launched in July 2009 by the Barbados Tourism Authority, is achieving some spectacular results. More and more Barbadians of the diaspora are responding positively to the incentives offered to encourage family, friends, and acquaintances to spend their holidays in Barbados. This has undoubtedly helped to sustain tourism, which is the premier industry of Barbados.
Returning nationals are also welcoming the news that they can now purchase vehicles duty-free from dealers here in Barbados. That decision came into effect April 1st this year. Now, a representative from the diaspora, Janice Bispham, says government and nationals living abroad are on the same page, working towards economic prosperity of Barbados. She lauded the theme of the conference, viewing it as a step in the right direction.
That theme, one family, one nation, building pathways to prosperity and development, aptly summarizes how we in the diaspora feel towards our country and what our efforts seek to do. The government and the diaspora are therefore on the same page, and this can be beneficial to both of us. Looking at the sessions of this consultation, we are of the view that its outcomes will strengthen what we have already built and bring us closer together. We always want to know about opportunities to invest, contribute, and connect.
And Ms. Bispham, along with Henderson Griffith, were among members from the diaspora who received the Pride of Barbados Award for their contribution to the country. Shane Seeley, CBC News.
Thanks, Shane. The dilapidated historic Sam Lord's property in St. Philip will be in for $200 million in refurbishment that will see it being transformed into a 450-room hotel. This was revealed by Minister of Tourism and International Transport Richard Seeley as he led off debate in the House of Assembly on a land acquisition resolution to acquire the property. Mr. Seeley told the House construction will get underway by the middle of next year. The 58-acre property will ultimately employ about 1,000 people when completed. It will also feature modern conference facilities.
What we are looking at specifically is this site and seeing it develop into a 450-room resort. The advantage, 450 rooms. Of course, the whole idea is that that we will obviously attract a brand that can encapsulate the family theme. A key element, of course, having the historic Sam Lord's mansion and the unique story that goes with that.
Mr. Seeley also says the hotel will primarily focus on summer business to help boost revenue outside the winter tourism season. That revenue is estimated to be over $40 million annually. He gave details about the funding arrangement.
The Barbados Tourism Investment Inc. has signed a memorandum of understanding with the China National Complete Plant Import and Export Corporation Limited, and we expect them to be responsible for a reconstruction process upon signing of the appropriate turnkey contract. The project is expected to be secured with funds from the EXIM Bank and is expected to cost $200 million, Mr. Speaker. The town planning approval has been in place for a previous project, but we would expect some alterations to be necessary.
Opposition leader Mia Mottley isn't too happy about the proposed development at Sam Lords. The tourism minister has indicated that construction will start mid-next year. However, Ms. Mottley is doubtful the process can get started by then, given the fact that not even an architect or quantity surveyor is in place. Ms. Mottley says there is also the issue of CLECO's involvement in the original plan and whether government will be going ahead with those proposals. She's hoping government has an exit plan.
Because it is the taxpayers of Barbados that will be carrying the cost of the development. The bottom line, Mr. Speaker, is that it may well be, once the cost-benefit analysis is done, that the project of the development of a hotel of 450 rooms, he told us there may be a conference facility. In fact, no, there should be a conference facility, which tells me that, once again, the detailed planning is not in place.
A suggestion that tourism is the only industry that can lead Barbados out of the current recession. And former Prime Minister and independent Member of Parliament, Owen Arthur, thinks that the sector has to be given the finances to lead the way, even if it is to the detriment of other sectors. Mr. Arthur, who was speaking in his first debate since resigning from the Barbados Labour Party, sat on the far end of the government's front bench. He says the Minister of Finance can start by removing the bound rates on items that are critical to the sector's development. The St. Peter MP also suggests that domestic policies that prevent investors from getting a healthy rate of return also have to be removed.
And it is commendable that the government now recognizes that you have to remove the tax on inputs if tourism is to function as a competitive economy. But it has to go beyond just the removal of the tax on inputs. And that environment, I must tell the Democratic Labour Party, has been hurt by the government doing things in relation to the essential inputs of tourism, especially water and electricity, that people cannot pass on. The government can't also be saying that it is now having a new approach towards the taxing of the inputs on tourism, and it increases the value-added tax and these things. So you have to be clear about what message that you're sending.
In news of crop over, Lead Pipe and Sadis have walked away with the tune of the crop title. The duo's A Feeling was played the most times on the road, leaving Sanctuary's Mega Monday and Imani's Bacchanal Road tied for second place. The first place winner gets $7,500, while Sanctuary and Imani will each get $3,500. The group told CBC this has been their best crop over so far.
It's been 10 years singing in the industry, well, not the crop over industry, but in the industry itself, in music.
We do reggae festival like 7 years in a row. Yeah. 7 years?
So, yeah. 7 years.
So we been doing it like for a while.
But for crop over, this is our second year, so it's been great.
Too much nakedness in the mass. That's the reaction from veteran band leader Gwyneth Squires. She copped the Large Band of the Year award, taking home her 19th title and $11,000 for her efforts following Kadooment Day celebrations as the curtain came down on Crop Over 2014. A tired Squires told CBC News when she saw some of the other costumes, she knew she had a good chance. But she says costumes are too skimpy.
When I started in Trinidad with bands, materials. All in a sudden now is just a naked mask. I don't appreciate that. And it's getting worse. What is NCF should bring, let us get together and tell them what you all should bring. Because every time you look, you see a naked, somebody naked. Sometimes you look at people paint themselves, and you don't know if they have on a costume or not. When I saw my band yesterday to the other bands, to be honest with you, I say, look, I feel I have this today because I don't like naked masks.
Gwyneth's band Controversy 2014 was also judged Most Colorful Large Band and Topical Band of the Year. She spoke about how she came up with the concept.
What I did is look back at all the controversies they had this year. If I had to bring more sections, it would be more controversy, because after that, you know, with the marching with mayor to the, the Prime Minister office, that all is controversy. So I said no. Well, we already have some section, and to bring that now, it will be too late.
Barbados Party monarch Gorg is headed to the Spice Isle on Thursday. Gorg is traveling to St. George's for Spice Mass, where he will perform his crop over hit Miram. He has also been booked to perform in St. Vincent. Gorg says he has every intention of flying the Barbadian flag very high and enjoying himself. Aside from winning the Party Monarch crown, Gorg also tied with Porgy and Murder for first place, having the most popular tune played during the Roberts BL&P 4-day morning jam. Culture Minister Stephen Lashley says revisiting the rules for the Picardy crop competition is one way to prevent Calypsonians from bashing each other in songs. His comments follow last Saturday's finals, where some finalists lashed out at their fellow competitors during their performances. He notes some of the lyrics crossed the line and says steps will be taken to prevent future cases.
I think the line was crossed, and I would certainly like to indicate that that is not the way in which I would also like to see the competition going. I think that in the Picardy crop competition, there's always the anticipation of using pecan to poke a little fun at your competitor. But I thought that last night went beyond the line, and I would hope that there's no recurrence.
There's more news just ahead, but first, we want to hear your take on the question: do you believe government should invest in the hotel sector like it did with GEMS and Ammon? Text yes or no to short code 8111, that is, and we'll have the answer for you at the end of the news.
Today, Sebastian Daniels is teaching his daughter to drive. He's a little nervous, but he shouldn't be. Because no matter what happens, his auto insurance from Sagicor General has them covered. And besides, it turns out she's a natural.
Nice job.
Sagicor General, wise financial thinking for life.
Community Files.
As part of its 17th anniversary celebrations, the Urban Development Commission will host a public lecture and market day. The lecture will be held on Monday, August 11th at 7 p.m. at the UDC, Bridge Street Mall, Bridgetown. The theme will be Building Sustainable Urban Communities in Barbados and will be presented by Chief Town Planner Mark Cummins. On Wednesday, August 13th, there will be a UDC Market Day from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. on the Chamberlain Swing Bridge, Bridgetown. Products will be on sale and there will also be health checks available. Vendors interested in participating in the market day should contact Leon Chase at 417-1420, extension 1524, no later than Friday, August 8th.
Police are looking into the unnatural death of 23-year-old Mark Walton of Fitz Village, St. James. The incident occurred around 11 last night at Fitz Village. Now, according to reports, Walton was at a bus shed in the area when he was accosted by two men. One of them apparently shot him and ran away from the scene. Police say Walton ran from the bus shed and fell nearby. He died at the scene. Well, regional news is coming up next. But first, a reminder that we want to hear from you on the question, do you believe government should invest in the hotel sector like it did with GEMS and Ammon? Text yes or no to short code 8111. We'll